Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Fine, ma'am.
Nice to see you. Uh, well, this yesterday we were going through uh, the specific course in language, and that was about the structure of a text and report writing. So we will continue with it. And my name is Mildred, um and I have been a counselor over the past 5 years, both online and offline. Uh, and I'll be taking you through your class and hope you enjoy it. And I would like to have your feedback. Have a great day. Ma'am Kalpana, you're there?
Yes, ma'am. Is there?
Thank you. Now, uh, we were talking about the structure of a text, and we were talking about how important it is to identify uh, the structures in texts. It means how a piece of information in writing can be organized to convey its message, and how it involves examining the arrangement of the ideas and the flow of the information and the relationship between the parts of the text. That is what is about the structure in identifying in the text. Now, talking about the text, when we identify the structure in the text, we will have to think about the text organization. That is, how the text is divided into different sections, and um, that is into parts, paragraphs, chapters, and the sequence of the order, and how the events, the ideas are presented. Then in the introduction, body, and conclusion, the IBC, that is how the text starts, how it develops, and how it ends. So using these headings and subheadings, how information is categorized and highlighted. So the logical flow, the connections, and the ideas, how they are transpired. So then we'll talk about the patterns and structures. This is all what we studied and we learned about in the text structure. Uh, what can you tell me about reading and how it helps you? Ma'am Kalpana, can you share me some idea? Hello, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what you can tell me about reading, how it is helpful to you?
When we read, we know what is that,
Yes, when we
what we are
need,
reading.
yes, okay. And what else can you tell me about reading? How does it help you? Supposing now we have a book in our hand, like for example, we're traveling in a train, and a child takes book. She finds a lovely book with full of pictures and all. What would he do with that book? After when he sits in the train, he'll flip through all the pages quickly, and then what will he do after that? He might just leave it and let it go. May it be a big book or a small book. But for a teacher, how important that book would be and how it can help him to improve for the students. So that's what it is about the importance of uh, having a book, or how it helps us. Reading, what all does it do for us? Can you tell me? What does reading do for us? It helps us to improve our vocabulary. It helps us in many skills. It helps us to memorize. It gives us inspiration. It gives us knowledge. It gives us wisdom. It teaches us in so many ways. Now, can we be able to open the PowerPoint presentations which I just forward to you? Hello. Yeah. Yes, we have the PowerPoint presentations. Can I take you through it? Can you go through it, please? Kalpana, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see the PowerPoint presentation?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I've sent it to you. Uh, let's go through it. Just just give me a moment. Can you hear me? Okay, when we're talking about the writing documents, how it is helpful, and we are going to talk about the aspects of the language. And so we are going to talk about report writing, the technicalities, and the objectives of uh, reading. Uh, just give me a moment, please. Thank you. Okay, before I flip you through the pages, let me tell you about the report writing and the employability skills. This is what we are going to talk about. Okay, can you hear me, Kalpana?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, before I take you through the PPT, let me just talk to you about uh, what exactly it is. How do we understand the structure of a report? How do we, uh, when we talk about, we're all reading about a report. When you talk about report, what does it come to your mind? Can you tell me, Kalpana? Just give me the basics of what comes to your mind when you think of report. I'll be very glad if you can tell me something, Kalpana. You there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When we think of report, immediately we strike back to when we were children and how important it is for us, when we were, how to, how we were, how it was important to, just a moment. Okay. Can you see the slides? Kalpana,
Yes,
you there?
ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
thanks.
It
Thank
is
you.
visible.
Now let me take you through the report card. When we think of a report card, we think about when we were children and we were given report cards. So, what was that report all about? Let's speak, Kalpana. Let's participate. We are a team. So, it's not that I'm a teacher or you're a student. We just need to, have a conversation. Yes. When we
Yes,
think about a report card when we were children, all we thought about was it came in with a few numbers and it gave us some marks, what we attained in class. It told us it signified our name and our father's name, so many other details attached. So, report is a statement of a result of an investigation of any matter on which definite information is required. So, in order to understand the purpose of the report and the structure in which a report is supposed to be, we have to plan the report. That is, it has to have an introduction, the body, headings, and a conclusion. We have to collect the information for the report, organization, and information to use appropriate style of writing and the different data information in an effectively and logical way. So now let's go down to page 42. Can you go down to page 42? And then it says about the purpose and the audience and the technique of technical writing, or it's talking about how important the writing or the report card should have some kind of structure. That is, it should have some techniques about what all needs to be put. The purpose, when we talk about the purpose and structure, we're asking what exactly is the document about? What can you gain from the document? Why is it important to write that document, and what the goals you will achieve in that document? So, the outcome of the letter or the memo or of the report. So you want to argue about it, or you want to define some facts about it and the purpose of it, and you have to keep it precise and to the point. And that's what the report is all about, the purpose. Now, when we're talking about, we'll talk about the audience and the technique. When we're talking about the audience and the technique, technical writing, the purpose, the audience, and the technique. So you're referring to page 42?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Thank you. So we need these technical writing. It is meant for different purposes, whether we write it, whether we use it for manuals, assembly, assistant guides. Can you read what is on the um, on your screen, please, Kalpana? The different types of technical writing, the purpose, the audience, and the technique.
We use them for medical and scientific papers,
Yes.
experimentation, information, etc.
Yes.
User manuals, assembly and assistance guides, books and guides by technical writers,
Yes.
technical document review and reports, case studies, press releases, company documents, annual report, business plan.
Well said. Thank you. So, when we talk about, we need to know about the basics of technical writing and the different types of technical writing and what is it meant for. So, also you can refer to page 42 where it says about the purpose, the audience, and the technique. So, the audience, when we talk about the audience, what comes to your mind in the report, in the technical report? What exactly is technical? When we're talking about technical writing, what is it all about, Kalpana? Technical writing is to achieve for a specific task, and this writing will be used for why it is being written, and it sometimes is for business writing, and sometimes it's for writing with a specific goal, for a specific intention, and for a specific organization or a person. That is what technical writing is all about. And when we write, that's what we say. It's for an audience. Audience means how to communicate directly in a technical in technical writing. It is important to understand the audience, the people who will read the document, why they will need it, and what is relevant to them. And the technique would be once you decided the purpose of writing it, then you would start writing whatever your goals are, what kind of audience you'll be writing for, and which technique will be used for the layout, the visuals, and so on. Let's move to the next slide. Kalpana, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Now, talking about, let's go to the next slide. Yes. Technical reports and structure. Uh, can you read through? And you can also go through uh, page 42. You're on page 42?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. So we've already been through page 42, and and now you can read what is on your screen aloud, please.
Technical reports and structure. Title page, terms of reference, summary table of contents, introduction, methods, results, main body, conclusion, recommendation, appendix,
Yes.
appendices, and
Appendix. Yes. Bibliography. Bibliography. Education institute.
bibliography.
I'll continue. Thank you. Educational institutions, government organizations, commercial and non-profit organizations. So the technical report structure is all it says. It's about the specific summary, its content, and what is it like literally meant for, and the different the institutions, the government institutions, the commercial and non-commercial or profit organizations. So the element, the abstracts, the introduction, the conclusion, and the body and the conclusion. So who will read this document? It is meant for in a technical way, it's going to be put. So it is meant for the persons who is for the particular audience who will need it, and also the technique in which it is written. So there will be technical communication for writers, companies, and organizations. All analyze their audiences. So, analyzing an audience means thinking about who they are, what they already know about, and the subject, what they need explained, how they are going to use this information you present, and how they feel about the subject. That is about the third screen. Now, talking about, let's go down to the next. Let's look into page 50, please. Let's look into page 50. We plan a report, the reports. What is it when we are talking about the reports for? When we're talking about what it's meant for, who it's meant for. Can you go through page 50, planning a technical report? What are the
Yes,
things that
ma'am.
we need? Yeah. Can you read on page 50? A technical report should contain certain components. Can you read that?
Yes, ma'am.
6.4. It's on 6.4 on page 50.
Executive summary, introduction, methodology, results analysis, conclusion, reference, abstract, background, appendices, figures, and tables.
Well said. Yes. When it comes to writing technical reports, the structure plays a very important role. It has planned out well to achieve the objective. The following could be the formal technical report. So the format of the technical report is on page 6.5. That's on page 51. You will go through and have an idea about giving you more idea about what all we need to keep in mind. Title page, the acknowledgements, the abstract, the introduction, the methodology, the body, and the resultant analysis, the conclusions, recommendations, references. All these are very important in format of the report. Uh, do you understand technically about the report, Kalpana?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Now let's move to the next page. Yes, are we ready?
Yes, ma'am. Writing a technical work report.
Yes. Now we're going to take you through the different stages of writing a report. Um, Now we're talking about the different stages of writing. Let's go on to page report writing. That is on page 49. We have three aspects: audience purpose and technique of writing, and then the stages of writing the report. So we are on page 49. which we have just gone through about writing a report, planning the technical report, the format, and the work report, right? So we'll need to collect. Can you read all the stages of writing a report? Kalpana, are you there? Can you read the stages on your screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Please read the stages of
Clarify
writing the.
stages of writing a report. Stage one, clarify your purpose. Stage two, collect the materials. Stage three, organize the materials. Fourth, draft, edit, redraft the material. Fifth one, presentation of the final draft. Editing checklist.
Very good. Now let's move on to page 38, which says the stages of writing a report. We should go on to page 38, which is about the stages of writing a report. As you mentioned about stage one, two, three, four, you can go through what you need to do when you clarify purpose. It's on page 32, 38, 4.5, stages of writing the report. Why we are writing the report? To inform, to explain, to advise, evaluate, recommend, or um, who will read it, who will be your audience, what does he or she know about the subject, the expectations from it, the attitudes, and what she wants to know about, and uh, how would she use the report. So there are always questions about what, how, where, why, when, and that's very important in our questioning. So the first stage would be to clarify the purpose, and second would be to collect certain material, the selected material. Supposing you want material just in your classroom for the age group 10 to 12 years old. So based on that, you'll buy your subject matter. Sorry, you'll buy your books from the library, or you'll select the particular books from the store, and you'll make all these things. You will do it in a systematic manner. Now, talking about selecting the material, we're talking about how relevant it is for that age group, which I just mentioned, 10 to 12 years old. Will it be for that particular purpose? What will be the action plan? And what will be the order in which we do it? Will you gather the information, the documents, the visits, the interviews, the questionnaires, and the observations, etc.? The next would be organizing the material. Can you read how you will organize the material? It's on stage 3 on page 38. Okay, I'll take you quickly
Yes,
through it,
ma'am.
Kalpana. Okay, I'll take you quickly through it. So you'll recommend the structures. Structures. When we talk about structures in real in a grammatical way, it's very important about a noun, a verb, and we go further into the aspects, or the structure. It's very important in anything in our lives, whether it how we are going to where we are going to place it. If we have a structure in mind, um, supposing now we have a block of blocks to be kept, and we will first bring them all together in front of us, lay it all in front of us. Then what we'll do, we'll take out one block each, place them aside, and then what we'll do, we'll put them all together and see how it can be placed. Because if one block is out of place or proportion, the whole building will fall. So it's very important to plan, to think, to use your course of action, and to logically plan the latest possessions progressively. What will lead to it? What comes next? If you go through the manuals, then it will give you the introduction about the simple blocks, how we have to place them, and at the end of it, once it is achieved, then you'll know your goal is accomplished. Next is stage 4 is the draft, redraft, and the presentation of the final draft. What formal languages we use, how to avoid a bossy and condescending tone, and that means to use a tone in which is soft, which is approachable, and which is in a lot in a way which one can feel the emotions. It shouldn't be loud, it shouldn't be soft, it should be clear. And check the style of the layout, the numbering, the sections. Everything is present for you on stage 5, and then you have the editing checklist. Were they beginning what we thought about the objectives? Were it completed? Was it completed? What was the purpose with the aims being clearly stated? The readers taken into account? Have the main points been included? The evidence and the purpose, the sections, the ideas. All these, did they figure out? And did they all add up to what is the good use of graphics which was being used, the style, was it formal, informal, and the tone and the purpose of the draw. So that's finally you learned you were reading about the stages of a report. Now let's go through the next screen, and that is okay. We are on screen 5. The key elements of effective written report and communication. So everything that is being written has to be communicated, right? We using our, when we read, we have to speak to. So now can you read what's on your screen, please? Good morning, Kalpana. Nice to see you. Oh, Navya. Good morning, Navya. Navya, can you hear me? Good morning, ma'am Navya. You can hear me? Okay, ma'am Kalpana, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please read the key elements of effective written report and communication. Okay. A major aspect of effective written communication is that it should be honest, open, respectful, considerate, and polite, and ensure that the message or the words used are not offensive and do not have any hidden negative tone. So, in writing to prove the key elements of a written report, it should be very in a respectful manner, and it should not have any negative tones. It should be in a polite and considerable tone. So the key elements should be, uh, first of all, let us see about what is an analytical report in technical writing. That is very important for us to read. Can you read that, uh, Kalpana?
Yes, ma'am. An analytical report def-
Definitely.
definition is a written document that is used by businesses to investigate business opportunities, problem solve, and to justify decisions in, included in the analytical report in
Report.
a complete analysis of the problem using both quantitative and qualitative data.
So it's very important that whenever we write a report, we also have to think about why it is written, for what purpose it is written, and how you'll use your analytical skills, and how it can be helpful to problem solve. Now, next, read the key elements. To ensure the clarity and impact, written communication should focus on the following. Can you read, please? Clarity and conciseness.
Clarity and conciseness.
Conciseness. Yeah,
Use simple and direct language. Avoid unnecessary jargon or complex words.
very true. Yes, go
Pro-
ahead.
pro- Proper structure and organization. Follow logical sequencing, uh, introduction, body, conclusion. Use paragraphs and bullet points for readability.
Yes,
Readability.
yes.
Tone, tone and
Right.
audience awareness. Adjust tone based on the audience. Formal for business, casual for personal.
Yes,
Be respectful and
of cultural
mindful of
difference.
culture difference.
Grammar and punctuation.
Grammar and punctuation. Correct spelling and punctuation improve readability. Proofreading helps eliminate errors.
Very true. Okay, now let's go to the next screen. Writing document. When we're writing a document, the word nominalization always comes. Do you know what is nominalization and how can we avoid it? So we need to check on what is nominalization. Let's go to page 46. Five and 46. Yeah, yes. Now, first of all, when we talk 45 and 46, what is the document? The document and nominalization. Let's talk about content outline, for example. A simple content, when we talk about a simple content, it's or the uh, what we a simple content would be that the like assembling a piece of furniture. Before we put all the pieces together, first lay them down, all the pieces before you, then use the instruction manual that is provided to you and how it guides you, all the different components, they'll fit together to create that particular unit. So that is what is called the content outline. Okay. Now we're going to talk about writing the document is on page 46 about avoiding nominalization. What is nominalization? We're saying that we have to avoid it. That means it is a process where the verb or an adjective is used as a noun. For example, the realization came rather late, they realized it late. So instead of saying the realization came rather late, we just have to say they realized it late, right? Instead of using the word realization came rather late, we'll just say the word he realized late. Now see, for example, the interference in normalization of interfere. Instead of talking about interference, we'll just say interfere, coming in between. That is what to make a decision. That is what in nominalization or decide in an argument is nominalization is to argue. Instead of saying argument, we just say the word argue. Now, in phrasing, how we use this word nominalization with phrasing, what is it that we need to avoid and what we need to say? A sentence with nominalization is his failure caused his parents anger. Now, what we need to say, actually, he failed with anger, he failed, which angered his parents. So, without nominalization, we have to speak. So, his failure caused his parents' anger, right? Now, can you read the next sentence? Avoid passive sentence. On your screen, go through Kalpana. Avoid
Yes,
passive,
ma'am.
avoid passive sentence. Please read to avoid. You there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, to avoid passive voice, you must be direct and precise in your verb choices. Now, when we talk of verbs are action verbs. So, active sentence would be Susan cooked the dinner. But the passive sentence which you need to avoid is the dinner is cooked by Susan. Instead of saying the dinner is cooked by, you shouldn't use the word the dinner is cooked by Susan. In a document, we'll use it directly and say Susan cooked the dinner. You understand, Kalpana?
Yes,
Kalpana?
ma'am.
Ma'am, we just use the word, we avoid nominalization. Okay? So, so in other words, we use the words directly than using nominalization. Now, avoid Susan cooked the dinner instead of saying Susan cooked the dinner, they'll say the dinner was cooked by or is cooked by Susan. So, indirect expressions. I have the right to watch the real world. Therefore, it is right to watch the show. In phrases, we say, it is right, therefore, it's right to watch the show. So, we have to avoid nominalization. If you go through the sentences on page 46, you will understand even better. You understand, first of all, how you use nominalization, Kalpana?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in which way we will use nominalization? Instead of using the word directly, we go in an indirect method. So they're saying don't use it in indirect method. Go directly to the subject. If, for example, when we say the Susan cooked the dinner, we keep saying the dinner is cooked by Susan. Indirect method. So don't use the indirect words when you're writing a document. Use it in a direct manner, and we have to avoid it. Now let's go to the characteristics of object and objectives of report writing. Can you please read across, please?
Writing is a fundamental tool for conveying mes- messages, whether personal, professional, or public. Technical writing is characterized by formal elements such as scientific and technical vocabulary and deal with subject matter. Technical writing utilizes writing styles, a description, description, cause and effect,
Yes, please.
classification, illustration, partition, comparison, and
Contrast.
contrast. Technical writing presents and explains a subject matter in a clear, accurate, and concise manner. It may it maintains an attitude of imparti- impartiality and
Impartiality.
objectivity,
Objectivity.
and by the absence of an absence of any attempt to arouse
Arouse.
arouse emotion arouse emotions.
Okay, now let me take you through the next sentence. The objectives of technical writing. It aims to communicate specialized information to the intended audience clearly. Technical writing can be written oral or visual. It's important for workplace success as it often involves collaboration between teams. Effective technical writing is clear, concise, accurate, well organized, and considers ethical standards. So, this was what we have read through in page 46. I've taken you through page 46. Now, let's go to our next. Uh, yes, we all of us go for jobs, and perhaps this must be your first job after your graduation, or you may have already been working. So, what are the things that we need to keep in mind for applying for a job? As we finished with all our reading and report writing and the techniques and objectives of about it, let's go down to the employability skills. So, what are the things that we need to keep in mind to have employment? And when we are employed, what do we need to keep in mind? How to sustain that job? And it's a very important topic for you, for your future. So, uh, pay attention carefully and listen to uh, the last two slides as we finished with report writing and technical writing and the structures of text. Now, talking about applying for a job. Have you ever applied for a job, Kalpana?
No, ma'am.
You never worked before? What have you been always?
I'm a housewife.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful job too. We all of us enjoy being housewives at some point of time in our lives, and it's incredible part of our journey, because that itself is, makes up our world, our family. We are a one unit, right?
A lot of responsibility in family.
Absolutely. Yes. And we have to do different course and satisfy everybody's needs, right? So as you're sitting at home and having a family life, and you're not being a working woman, can you tell me something about the job you do at home? How you begin your day? What's your day like? Please take me through. Kalpana, you can take me through your day. What is your day all about? Okay, when we wake up in the morning, what we do, how we, what is our next step? What are the different courses we start with? What are the like, for example, we do a puja, we have a bath, we say up, and then we have our breakfast.
Prepare food, tiffins, lunch,
Yes, wonderful. And what else do
get
we do?
ready to wake up children's,
Very true.
prepare food for them, tiffin, lunch box. We are making daily routine.
Okay. Very true. And then at the end of the day, the children have to be happy about your day's work, and they are very happy and satisfied when they get their time to rest. That you keep a check on them, you give them their food in time, you take care about every detail in the house, whether it's your husband, your child, your mother-in-law, your whoever's in your house, uh, and the different course, taking them to hospital, different types of things that comes up in the day, right? So that is something which we do not choose to do, but it comes in very naturally. But still, that is also a job profile. Now, let's talk about when we apply for a job, or our children are applying for a job. What do we need to do? And how can we sustain that job? And mm, what are the skills we need to have to secure that job? What makes us different? What makes the people, um, n- why why is it that only we have to be selected? What is the I in it? Why can't it be somebody else? What is it that makes you different for that particular job? So before we go into for employability skills, let's read through the different types of things that we need to keep in mind. Can you read the employability skills that is on your screen, please?
Confidence, attitude,
Yes, absolutely.
accountability,
Yes.
motivation, time management, teamwork, stress management, presentation, adapt-
Yeah,
adaptability.
very true. Okay, so we need to have. So first of all, we need to have is we are motivated. We need to be motivated to go for a job. Uh, when we are given hikes, that is when we get the job. We get hikes. We get we when we perform, we get a better salary, and we are appreciated. That is what we get. That's when people inspire from us, and we are inspired by people. That's when motivation comes into play. Then we have to be accountable. What's the question of being accountable? That means if something goes wrong, be accountable for it. Say you did it, or how you can improve it. Prove your accountability. So when we show about attitude, what is the kind of attitude we display at work? Are we coming in time? Are we being respectful to our authorities? Are we doing the kind of work with our team members? Are we in good attitude with them? Are we working or correlating to our job? After work, also, what is our attitude with our friends? So everything comes into play. Now, talking about confidence. So, confidence is we feel confident when we secure a job. But the basic thing is what makes us confident? Can you tell me what makes you confident in all your life that you have been working as a housewife? Tell me, Kalpana,
Yes,
what makes you confident? Okay, I'll tell you one idea about being confident. Now, I will be confident about my job as a teacher if I'm well prepared. If I know my subject matter, if I know what I'm doing today, that's when confidence comes into play. I will have an edge over everybody. I will be able to define whatever that the graphics or the kind of all the things that I have to put into place. Am I doing it systematically? I know my work. That's when confidence comes into play. When somebody gives you inspiration, you feel motivated, you feel good. And that's what is confidence all about. See, you're very confident, you attend to guests, people come to your houses. Am I right, Kalpana? Uh, why?
Yes,
Because
yes, ma'am.
you're laying the table for them. You're doing everything in a systematic manner. You're doing it on a daily basis. You're coming to across to people. Supposing as a woman, you're going out to meet your children's teachers. So how will you feel? Wow, what makes you feel good? That's what is confidence all about. Now, talking about adaptability. What is adaptability? Adaptability is adjusting to a certain situation. Supposing now you are sent, the work spot is sending you from Hyderabad, the relocation to Delhi. So, are you able to adapt to that situation, to that weather, to the conditions, and come in time to work to be punctual? Are you doing all those things? Uh, Now, are you adaptable to the situation where when you're all with your colleagues and you're doing your work together? Are you in coordination with them? Are you adapting yourself with different languages they speak? Are you communicating well? That is what is adaptability. Presentation. Are you presenting yourself well? Are you coming in time? Are you dressed well? Are everything in place? Is everything in place, falling in place? The quality, the way you dress, the way you talk, the tone in which you speak, the clothes, what you wear, the shoes, what you wear, the dress, what you wear, everything matters. Now, when talking about the employability skills to keep yourself higher than the others, is that the presentation is, are you able to do all your work in time? The 24-hour gap, that is the turnaround time. Are you able to present it in time? Are you able to do it in the order? What makes it different? What makes you different from the rest? That is what is presentation. I'm talking about stress management. Yes, we all have stress. Can you tell me about your stress? What is all about stress when you talk about at home, Kalpana? What is stress?
We work, we take stress, work out all house workings.
Yes, very well said. That is, you take stress. You take stress because you have outdoor works to do, you have the housework to do, as well as you have to look after your children. You have to manage the bed in the house, the furniture, the cooking, and everything. When it all comes to, are you being serving their food in time? So, are you be able to toggle all these things together, as well as you coming online to be one on one with me? That sometimes puts us to stress. But the question is, how can we manage stress? I believe that we can manage stress only when we are organized in a systematic manner. No matter what comes our way, we have to go through many struggles, but how we manage it, how we adapt ourselves, working out, exercise, keeping ourselves fit, then sleeping on time, eating, we play with phones all the time. That is what some of the things that happen that builds up our stress level. And how we manage it is how to drink water, talk about it, and speak about the problems. Then we need to speak about to the professional people to manage our stress. And at work, how can we manage that stress? Uh, uh, is that we need to be compatible. We need to do our things in time. We need to speak to one another. We need to adjust with their problems at work. That's when we are able to uh, manage stress. It's all there for your foundation skills, the interview skills, the group discussion, and applying for a job. So when we're talking about these skills, the interview skills and foundation skills, how does it help us? It helps. We need to communicate. We need teamwork. We need ethics and responsibilities. Responsibilities. I'm sorry, there was a call in between, Kalpana. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
leadership qualities, professional skills. So how we can be better than others? We keep on. We should keep persevering, pursuing our studies to become better. We should just not be like everybody else. Eh, Like you are a woman who is a housewife. You're a person, a housewife. But apart from it, what makes you different from the other women other ladies would be that you are also professionally qualifying yourself in your studies. That's what makes you a different person. It makes you a professionally skilled person. It makes you become a better person. You will have a you will have a future, better future. Why? Because education is what makes us a happy and contented people. Let's go to the next slide, Kalpana.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, career development. That's what you're building on right now, Kalpana, and it's a wonderful thing you're doing. Next, how to create a professional resume. So, what do we need to keep in mind when writing out an application that will make you stand out, that will make you feel that you are better than the rest? What makes you do that? Can you read through, please? How to create a professional resume?
Choose the right format. Include your name and contact information. Tailor your resume for each position. Add a resume summary or objective. List your soft and hard skill. Detail your professional history. Include an education section. Consider adding optional
Wonderful.
sections.
Yes, to create a professional resume, they're wonderful. There are many, many things on Google which we can search. But, we need to keep certain things in mind. Our names, our date of birth, our time on the studies we have accomplished, and how we have to put it in a right format. That's very important. How to begin it, how to end it, what should be the body, what should be the conclusion. And to include your name, yeah, like I said, for each position, what exactly are we applying for? And you should tell us about why did you apply for that job and why should you get that job? What makes you stand out for that job? What are the skills and the soft skills and the hard skills that you have been performing and you have on your table and that you can portray to the people? Next, you'll have to give the professional history about what have you been doing. You have been employed at home. That's what your work skills are all about. And what is the work skill? How professional are you with your cooking skills? How good you are, and what makes you apply for a particular job? That apart from being whether you're going into teaching or whatever skills that you're wanting to apply for, or cooking skills or whatever you want to apply for, that's what you need to include all about it in educational history, your education section, and consider adding more options, whatever you want, and end your thing. And that also you need to keep in mind once you apply for a job and how you have to, what would be the next step. I will be taking you through that. What is group discussion in a job? Now, when we go for a job, there's always a group discussion. So many companies have group discussions, interviews in hiring process. So the group discussions. Um, yes, interview as part of hiring process, group discussions, GDs, that is, group discussions, helps to employer identify particular personal traits like leadership, confidence, interpersonal, and teamwork. These skills are very important in your group discussion. How they are going to take you, what makes them to take you, why are you different from the rest? Okay, are you able to understand?
Yes,
You'll get the job, right? Next, during the
yes,
interview, what do you need to keep in mind when you're applying for that interview? We need to come in time. We have to be punctual on a daily basis. Forget about only interviews. But for an interview, you have to be there on time. Be prepared to summarize your experience in about 30 to 40 seconds, 60 seconds, and describe what you bring to the position. Now, supposing you're applying for a particular post, what is it that you're going to talk about that particular post? What makes you to get that post? And listen carefully to each question that is asked and answer in a positive manner, not in a negative comments to the employers. Whenever we go for an interview, whatever may be the records of your previous employees, please always talk good about them. Because now what's happening is they are taking a check on your past employers. What if they talk and they tell you that she won't be suitable or he won't be suitable for that job? So always, whenever you are in a course of conversation, even after you secure a job, this has to be kept in mind about your authorities, the kind of people you were employed with, talk good about them. And be aware of your body language, the tone in which you speak. It should not be loud, it should not be soft, but it has to be accurate, clear, concise. Talk about the next steps, take notes. Okay. Um, Conduct the post-interview self-evaluation, send a thank you note. Who does it these days? Whenever we want to know about, supposing now I apply for a job, and I want that job. So what will I do? My real thing would be, we'll call them back or we'll give them a thank you note saying that, thank you for spending your time and taking my interview. That's all that you need to do. These are called ethics, Ethics is very important for us. Reference to the industry, or events, and news should be relevant in your discussions. What you need to keep in mind, mm, the tips for an interview. That's send additional documents if required, check the interview status online. That's what you'll need to do to keep in mind. I think this was my last screen. Oh, okay. Interviews usually takes place face to face in person. But the parties may instead be separated geographically, as in video conferencing or telephone interviews. The conversation interviews are almost always involve a spoken conversation between two or more parties, but can also happen between two persons who type their questions and answers. Interviews can be unstructured, freewheeling, and open-ended conversations without predetermined plan or prearranged questions. So we need to understand that sometimes we can be far away and the person can just take our interview. It can be online, it can be offline, it can just be a face-to-face conversation, or it can be a structured, well-structured, unstructured question patterns. You can have a written conversation, you can have a written or different types of ways of interviews that are being conducted. An interview, what exactly is an interview? It's just a meeting. It's a rendezvous, we call it. It's a meeting of people face to face and in consultation with the in consultation. It's in common parlance. The word information refers to one-on-one conversation between the interviewer and the interviewee. So what happens in an interview? Who takes the interview? The interviewer and the interviewee. So it is between two people. The structured conversation where one participant asks questions and the other participant answers the questions. Okay, how to introduce yourself at a job interview? What do we need to keep in mind? A warm greeting, express our gratitude, personal brief introduction, and you can highlight your educational background, summarize your professional experience, relevant skills and certifications, and connect your background to the role. That's how you will introduce yourself at a job interview. And the 5 C's to demonstrate that you are capable for the job would be the capability, the confidence, the concerns, the commands, and the communication. Next, to ace your job interview, means what makes you ace it, means how you think that you're going to get that job. What is it that you're going to, how you're going to answer that questions, and what tone. The capability should be to perform in an absolute uh, and must deliver tasks. To perform the absolute and must deliver tasks. Capability, no matter what. No, sir, I can't come tomorrow. I'm having stomach pain. I will not be able to attend. These are not good things to do until and unless we are truly not unwell. So that's when we show our capability. No matter everybody comes to work or not come to work, we have to show that we are able to perform and outbeat whatever's the task given to us. We have to show our confidence. The concern for others in the organization is very important. How humane we are to people, how we are understanding to them, how when they give us a piece of work, how they can be, how we can approach them and how we can be helpful to them. This is all very important to at your job interview. Command and the desire to increase this. Command and the desire to increase this, and communicate ability at all levels. Communication ability is most important in everyday life. Without communication, we are at a risk of getting the job. How you introduce yourself at a job interview, we just spoke about it. That's about it. I hope you enjoyed and your lesson. Did you understand your lesson, Kalpana?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that was wonderful. Now you can keep all these things in mind and, you know, um, uh, tell me which was your best part of your lesson. What did you like most? Yes, Kalpana, you're there.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the best part of your lesson. What did you like most?
Job, job interview.
Yes, we all need jobs, right? So we'll go
Yes,
through
ma'am.
employment was good, and how we have to show our skills, and how we have to organize ourselves, be on time for the meeting, and they have to be dependable on us. That means when they issue, when they give us our work, they know that this candidate will do the work. So we need to give the job to him. No matter what, he or she will not say that I will not attend the job. Oh, I'm having a tummy upset. I am not able to come today. They have to be uh, thinking that, oh, if we give this person the job, 100% this person can be dependable. We have to show a positive attitude in everything in life. When we are positive, we will be happy and successful. And we have to show high levels of effort, accuracy, complete works on time, and the dress code is also very important. That's about it. Hope you enjoyed your class, Kalpana.
Yes, ma'am.
What
Yes,
is your
ma'am.
feedback? What do you think I need to improve on in my lessons teaching?
No, ma'am. It is all excellent, ma'am.
Oh, no, you
Your
can't say
teaching
that.
is very nice.
Thank you, Kalpana. I truly appreciate. And all is, like I said, it's confidence. Confidence comes in when you are well prepared, when you know your work, when you are organized in a particular manner, when you are punctual and everything will fall in place. So to know your subject matter before you teach, that's where you build in confidence. Thank you and have a great day. We'll see you someday.
Thanks, ma'am.
Take care. Bye. Can you leave the class, please?